Hi, let's talk about, very quickly, Wonder Woman 1984. Wonder Woman 1984 is a film I was able to watch on telly on Boxing Day with my wife due to the courtesy of a VPN allowing us access to American networks. I'm sure there'll be lots and lots of reviews and takedowns and comments on it on the internet, so I'm just going to try and stick to brief points on it and get in and out. So good things about it: Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, they're fun together. The initial heroing bit at the start, where she's just doing general Wonder Woman heroing, fine. And the fact that they wanted to have Cheetah in it and Kristen Wiig, she was well cast as a dweeby person who suddenly becomes all glamorous, fine. Cons about it though are the Wishing Stone rules. They're not clearly defined. One minute they're saying you can have one wish, then all of a sudden he's allowing people to have 2 or 3 wishes. Just stick to the rules and that's that, and be clever with them, but stick to them. Then he's also saying, I'm going to take something from you that you care most for. Then he's just picking and choosing what he's taking from people. One minute he's striking a deal with this oil guy going, we'll take all your oil then in return, haha. And the bloke goes, fair enough, I ain't got none. And so he goes, I'll change it then, I'll just take your security guards. No, you done the deal, mate. Stuck to it, that's the rules. Tough fucking luck. You lost, you know. That's it, you don't just get to do it. Another good point. Comic book references, Bialia for one, Simon Stagg for another. Whether they're trying to seed that, whether they just chucked it in for the sake of it, I don't know. But it was fun to see those characters and that place mentioned. The physics of Wonder Woman's movement were just seemed all over the place. She's sort of not flying. She's definitely not flying at the start. But the physics of how she holds on to the lasso and how she lands, it looks weird. It looks like someone is on a winch and they haven't bothered to properly land her, with any force. It just looks weird. And this is before they eventually get to her flying, which I think they really wanted to do from the start. And also Wonder Woman's powers. Well, now she can make shit invisible. Just sits in the plane and goes, I can make shit invisible now. Great. Right, okay. She could have just prayed to a goddess and got that done. And that would have probably been more acceptable than her just going, I can make stuff. I do magic now, that's it. Like, okay. He set the rules out quite clearly in the first film. Couldn't you have made lots of people invisible in the first film and saved a lot of lives? It just doesn't ring true in the universe they have made. The other thing is they don't want to show Cheetah. They're almost embarrassed to show Cheetah in her final form. She's on for 5 minutes. She turns up in the distance, in the dark, in fog, as it were, like all hazy, and you barely get to have a good look. And she looks a bit shit as well. I watched the Shudder Christmas, the Shudder Creepshow Christmas special, and they had a Cheetah woman in that, in a practical makeup effect. Looked much better. And I fully bought into it because I wanted to. I'm sure that was on a tiny budget. Imagine that on a Wonder Woman budget where they can mix that with CGI. Wow, I'm sure it could be fantastic. And just have it for more of the film. Fucking hell, don't just show it for 5 minutes at the end. So you've got something for the trailer. It just felt cheap. The other thing was too much of these wishes going on. Again, back to the Wishing Stone. All the people in the world have to rescind their wishes. So you're telling me every single person in the world rescinded their wish in a matter of moments? Bollocks, don't believe it. And also, you're telling me no one wished for world peace, nuclear disarmament. Everyone wished for farms and money and stuff like that. I know people are selfish and we're all meant to think that, but not one person wished for world peace or for nuclear weapons to vanish. Don't believe it. Or even when those nuclear weapons are flying across the world, not one person in that nuclear silo that was watching it went, I wish this wasn't happening. You set yourself up for a problem with that. You're better off just limiting the wishing to your core characters so you don't have to piss about. The final thing to moan about, second to last thing to moan about, is Steve Trevor. Lovely acting by Chris Pine, gets on well with Gal Gadot. It's funny, you get all your trailer moments in it and they get on well. And he does this thing where he's like on an escalator going, oh my god, it's amazing. It's fine, really good acting. But why do they have to have him possess someone? It's a magic wishing stone. Like, say, get it back. Boom. No explanation. Magic. Fine, I'd have bought that. Instead, he's possessing someone's body. That's like my problem with that Jake Gyllenhaal film, Source Code. At the end, we're all meant to think he's having a happy ending going off with a woman. He's in some other fucker's body. That bloke got a wife and kids at home. Who knows what this guy had? If you're gonna do the conceit of him taking over someone's body, then you've got to play more with it. You've got to say, when they're out and about, they bump into that guy's mum, and she's like, "Oh, it's a new girlfriend you got. What's all this about?" And they have to like fake it out, and then they realise that he is occupying someone's body. I don't know. And the other thing was the cameo at the end by Linda Carter was totally tacked on and felt absolutely shit. Absolutely shit. And there were also other editing issues with the film as well. 1 minute she's flying on got to get to this sort of transmitter base, and then the next minute she gets there in this armour. No sort of indication that she was able to divert, go get it. It just felt again like they wanted that image from the comic books. They didn't want to put considering all the other sort of shoe leather they've shown in this film of going about places and looking at stuff, they didn't even want to show that she had the armour. It just felt a little bit weird, and a little bit jarring. Almost as jarring as Maxwell Lord's kid, who my wife sat next to me and said, "Who's that?" I said, "It's his kid." I went, "What? Is his wife Asian?" And I was like, "I assume so. Because is he adopted?" If he was, it wasn't made clear to me as a keen viewer. And if he wasn't, then it felt almost like I was just meant to accept this, because, you know, otherwise I'm a terrible, you know, backwards person. It just felt weird that he had like this Asian looking kid with no real explanation behind it other than the fact that, yeah, why can't he be Asian? What's your problem? You got a problem with that? I'm sure some people will have a problem with me even saying that. But I just saying it felt jarring and weird, and it felt like maybe a character was totally edited out, perhaps. But it just felt like strange. Yeah, and there's generally the CGI as well with her and her lasso and what it could do, and her like there's a bit where she picks up two kids and it's like they're fucking glued to her arm. She just comes along and they just glue to her arm. Weird. On a multi-million-pound film, that could be better handled. Look, that's a little bit of a rant and a little bit of a moan. There are certainly, you know, reasons to watch this. I watched it. I probably won't go back and watch it again. I would rather watch a 2+ hour movie in the form of The Dark Knight or Superman, the original Superman, which had lots of general Supermaning in it as well. But this felt a lot like Superman 2 in that all of a sudden, you know, at the end of Superman 2, when he starts throwing copies of his shield on people and he's got all these weird transporting powers and stuff like that. It felt like that a lot through this film, where suddenly this lasso was doing all this weird shit, Diana could do all this stuff, and it was just, fuck it, give her a power. It's comic book stuff, just give her a power. And people are more astute than that, not even comic book fans, just general viewers. People are like, hey, you do what? It just felt a lot like that kind of stuff being thrown in. Let me know what you think. Did you have the same problems I did with it if you saw it? I'm glad it came out, via a video on demand platform, because I would be disappointed if I spent 30 quid for us both to go and watch this in the cinema. And I do wonder if they kind of knew that, and they were hoping that if it went out at the cinema, they would just make a killing, and it would probably get more positive reviews because people would feel less likely to sort of chastise something that they'd spent that money on. I don't know, but we will see. Thanks for watching. Please forgive the like and the subscribe, and have a good day.